So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr Games and I'm bringing to you guys a predaplant deck update profile. So, this is just what I'm currently playing. This is post MR5 obviously. We're on the MR5 spring season and yeah, I'm really enjoying this profile. The fusion changes really did help the power plays of this deck. You can now get multiple fusions on the field, which is just what this deck wants to do. Doesn't want to bother going to link monsters, though we do play some link monsters, and there's one link tech choice that I'm going to give at the end of the profile and explain why that card can be good for this deck as well. So with all that said and done, before I get to this, please, if you enjoyed this, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Doing that really does help us out a lot, and it just helps us bring more videos to you guys. And also, I hope you enjoy, I'm going to say this in a few videos, I hope you enjoyed my video quality upgrade. I'm using my phone, tripod and everything like that, just to try and get the best picture quality for you guys. And if you do like it, for my personal videos, give us a comment down below just to say that you think it's improved, you think it's better and that kind of thing. Just hearing that does mean that it then tells me and Dale that we are doing things correctly. So, and then gives us a bit of a comfort as well. So once and done, let's get into this. We're playing 3 copies of Predaplant Chimera Sunday. This card's just too good. It's a walking poly on legs, and with the amount of power increase in terms of like adding Predacounters on the opponent's field, you can now start fusing your opponent's board as well and just get those monsters off the field that you don't want to deal with. We are playing the 3 copies of Predaplant Office Scorpio and his favourite friend, Darling Tony Okopa. Standard in most fusion decks. That isn't like Fluffle, but I personally think this is better in this deck just because Office Scorpio gets more monsters on the field. It's better in this deck, and you still only want to play your own one Cobra. Though if you are opening with Cobra, you're not too hindered by it, because then you can still just go, okay, Scorpio, get a Sundew. Sundew can then fuse with that Cobra if you want to in your hand. It's just extra Predaplant name fodder for your deck. So I like this ratio still in this deck, and it's just going well for me personally. 3 copies of Cerstilliant. Cerstilliant, I can't pronounce this one for the life of me, but it's your searcher for the deck, and it's your battle fader as well for the deck as well. Protection during the battle, popping monsters your opponent controls that kill it, while also searching Predapt cards when it's sent from field to grave as well, by any means, including fusion. We are playing 2 copies of Squid Drosera. I like 2 Squid Drosera now just because we are more Predacounter focused now because of the new support that's been coming out recently for the deck. It just means that we can get more Predacounters on the field, which means things like Squid Drosera with its really cool hand trap effect, where you can ditch it and one of your monsters can attack everything with a Predacount on it, means you're going to get a lot of damage in there. So you can start pushing in for those games, which Predaplants just want to do. They're more of a beatdown deck. I feel like they play a lot best as a beatdown deck. So, and Squid Drosera does help that, but it does have that cool field effect where if it does get destroyed, you can start scattering Predacounters on the field as well. 2 copies of Helmethoconius. I can't pronounce this one either, I'm probably butchering it, but he's mostly in here just because he is a Predaplant level 8 that you can summon and search, and it just helps you go into your Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon a lot easier. You're not bound and forced to use your fusion monsters to go into Greedy Venom, sort of like a fusion level up, but you can now just go with your in-deck main deck level 8 that you can now use for that as well. I'm playing 3 1-ofs in the forms of 1 Spinodenia, 1 Cordyceps and 1 Drosophemium Hydra. Spinodenia, I'm not a fan of multiple copies, because I'd rather use my normal summon things like Chimera Sundew, Office Scorpio and things like that, and at times even Cerstilliant, and I feel like its Predacounter effect is not as good as like the spell variants in the deck, so I only want to play one of it just because it's an additional name, and it does have its needs and uses. Cordyceps, I think, is really good at the moment, especially thanks to MR5. You can get those materials back onto the field for later on, so you can go into another fusion play. And Dressophium Hydra is your main in-deck archetypal kaiju, and its attack reduction effect is pretty good. So for the monsters, moving on to spells. For your revival spells, I'm playing 2 Predaplant and 1 Monster Reborn. Just standard on the Monster Reborn for most decks. And Predaplant I prefer over Predaponics. Yeah, the continuous effect of it is pretty good, but I don't like the fact that it negates the monster effects. And I like how Predaplant can revive my fusions as well. While being in a crypt, it's just an easy play this, get a monster back. It has all of its power and everything, so I kind of like that over Predaponics. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Everything in here is dark, so you play Allure of Darkness. And you play multiples of a lot of cards, so you can get rid of those additional copies if you need to. 3 copies of Predapractice. This is your index search as well, in archetypal search for your Predap cards, while also helping you get those monsters on the field from your hand for those additional link plays if you want to, while also fusion plays as well. 1 copy of Predablast. Probably like one of the best ways to get more Predator counts on the field just very easily. Just reveal Predator cards in your hand, start scattering Predator counts on the field, and start going off with your counter plays, or counter based plays. Now for the fusion cards, I'm playing 1 Polymerization, 1 Fusion Substitute, and 1 Instant Fusion. Firstly, to go off with that, Poly is Poly, and I like Fusion Substitute just because it is a sort of a consistency draw card, while also putting your fusions back into your extra deck so you can fuse them off again. So if you don't want to play this, you can just bump up Poly to 2. I only play the 1 Poly, which you may think is weird being a fusion based deck, but we have in-deck ways to search it, while also a field spell to help it as well, which I'll get to later on. And Instant Fusion is just very versatile in the deck. It helps you get into your restrict monsters, which not only help either deal with hand traps or threats on the field, but also being dark monsters themselves. And level 1 can go into your Link Reaver and go into your fusion plays as well. And 2 copies of Super Polymerization and 1 copy of Predaplant Fusion for like your Super Poly cards. Super Poly, you can search in the deck, it's just absolutely insane. And with the tech that I still play in the deck, it's just even more powerful and even more of a blowout card. And I still like the Predaplant Fusion. It is more searchable in the deck just because it's both a fusion spell and a Predator card. So, and it's a kind of a pseudo Super Poly as well. And then to round up the spells, we're playing a field spell engine in forms of 1 Fusion Recycling Plant and my tech of Layer Darkness and Terraforming. I think this tech is really cool. I think this little engine is really cool for the deck and really helps the deck out. Fusion Recycling Plant can playing this over an additional Polymerization means that now this Fusion Recycling Plant can act as multiple polymerizations because you recur it from the graveyard, which is really cool. It's something I like to play, and it's still a fusion based card, so you can still search it off things like your Dire and Antonio Cobra. And then this gets you your poly from deck, and then later on can get you poly back from grave. While also getting your materials back from graveyard, so your fusion summons cost less. Layer Darkness, I think, is a tech that I've been playing for a little while, and it's an absolutely amazing card in this deck because most, if not all, your fusions just require dark monsters. So being able to play this and turn all of your cards on the field to dark, but not only just yours, your opponents as well, means that your Super Poly can essentially fuse anything your opponent's playing into your fusion monsters. You're not hoping your opponent's playing a dark based deck, you're going to turn them into dark and make them your fusion materials, which I think is a really cool card. And playing this with Terraforming means that I can now search my Fusion Cycling Plant or my Layer Darkness just through 1 card, which I think is really nice. And to run up the deck, we're playing 3 trap cards. We're playing 4 trap cards, 3 copies of Predator Planning, and 1 Predator Planet. Predator Planet is an additional way to get counters on the field, while also fusion summoning from graveyard as well. And Predator Planning is again another way to get Predator counters on the field, while also being a popper on your opponent's field as well. So, which is very, very handy. Just by fusion summon you get to pop cards. I think that's just not bad. It's pretty good. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. We are playing 1 copy of Predaplant, just the Female Hydra, and 1 copy of Starling Red and Fusion Dragon. for your big final boss monsters. What I really like in the fusion in the extra deck is that you kind of like have the plant based side and the dragon based side, which I think is really cool. So your plant based side is your Dracophum Hydra, it's your summon negation, while also just being a big beat stick as well, and it can recur itself back from the graveyard for additional more plays. And Greedy Venom is your reducing your opponent's attack to 0, kind of like power play, while also bombing the field and reviving itself. For your other dragon side, for your level 8s, for your other kind of like boss monsters, you've got your 2 copies of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and for your plant based side, you've got your 2 copies of Dracophum Hydra. Dracostopelia, I mean. But so yeah, your Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is kind of like the one you're going to go into the most, especially if you're Super Poly. It's just an all-around powerful card. Copies effects on the field, gains attack, and on summon, and then if it's destroyed, destroys the field. And then your Dracostopedia is your effect negation on the field for, and also being able to put more predator counters as well. And then the glue for all your fusions is your Chimera Fleecia. Just helps remove effects on the field if they're levels. Gains attack and reduces attack when it battles, and when it's sent to graveyard on your next standby phase, you get a fusion card. All around, just you can't go wrong with this card, and it's the easiest one. So I'm just taking a predaplant and a dark. And then for your instant fusion targets, I mentioned before, your 1000 Ice Restrict and your Millennium Ice Restrict, clearing monsters on the field, and your hand trap stopper. And I play 4 link monsters. I'm going to talk about a 5th one that's just recently come out. Your 1 copy of Verte Anaconda, you only need 1 copy of Verte Anaconda. Your deck is more than capable of fusing summoning on its own basis. You don't need to cheat into a fusion card through Verte Anaconda. The Verte Anaconda is still very handy to play in the deck. So for your budget players out there, you got my thumbs up and approval that you only need 1 Verte. 1 copy of Cross Sheep, very handy monster. It just helps you get your resources back from fusion summoning. Your 1 Aroma Surfing Jasmine, it still has its niches, still has its plays. And your 1 copy of Link Rebo. Just it combos well with your Saraciliant and your Restrict monsters. But the 5th monster I'm going to talk about is a card that recently come out in the latest set, which is called Proxy F Magician. It is a Cybers that points downs, left and right, and it just takes 2 effect monsters, and you can fusion summon monsters on your field to make a fusion monster. So it's another way of a board based fusion on legs in your extra deck. So if you want to try and play around with that, I'd probably take out one of these 2 to play around with that card. I think it's a really cool card. I'm going to try it out myself later on, just to see how it goes, and who knows, if I do an update to this, it may be in the extra deck. But guys, that's the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you think of this. I'm really enjoying Predaplant at the moment. I think it's a really cool, underrated deck. And if you're going to your locals, once locals start going up again, you can take this deck there and you could probably get some interesting wins out of it. Like your opponents will not see it coming. And especially if you're fiddling around the low darkness tech, you're definitely not going to see that super body coming, and you're going to be like, I'm going to use all 3 of your darks to make this thing. So it's very, very good. So as always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Till next time, as always, happy dueling.